Tomasz Tatarczyk was a prominent Polish painter known for his contemplative minimalist approach to landscape painting, which explored themes of memory, solitude, and existential presence. Born in 1947 Warsaw, Poland, he came of age artistically in a post war Poland marked by both the repressive strictures of communism and the parallel ferment of underground cultural expression. Tatarczyk studied architecture at the Warsaw University of Technology, but it was his transition into painting that defined his creative legacy. His architectural training subtly informed his compositional clarity, spatial awareness, and meditative use of structure, even in his most abstract or elemental works. Tatarczyk's more mature painting style emerged in the late 1980s and early 1990s, characterized by a restrained color palette, often dominated by blacks, whites, and ochres, and an intense materiality. He used thick applications of oil paint, creating heavily textured surfaces that seem to absorb and reflect light in profound ways. The physical depth evoked a kind of tactile silence, encouraging long, slow viewing. His subjects frequently simplified motifs such as trees, meadows, fences, or isolated paths became recurrent metaphors for boundary, passage, and reflection. Rather than portraying detailed scenes, he evoked the experience of space and landscape as an inner psychological or emotional terrain. Though his works was rooted in landscape, Tatarczyk was never a realist in the traditional sense. His paintings are almost anti narrative, stripped of action, anecdote, or ornament. They function as meditative thresholds, inviting viewers to project their own inner landscapes. This effect was enhanced by the frequent use of monochrome or near monochrome fields, which gave his work an iconic, almost scattered presence. Critics often liken the intensity and stillness of his compositions to post minimalist or even monastatic sensibilities, drawn connections with artists like Giorgio Morandi or Mark Rothko, though Tatarczyk remained firmly anchored in his own culture and geographic specificity. He lived and worked for many years in the village of Wesolwaka, near Kazimierz Dolny, a historic art colony, or on the Vistula River. This rural retreat provided not only a physical but a spiritual backdrop to his painting, and it became a recurrent theme in his art. A space between civilization and nature, silence and voice, presence and absence. Tatarczyk was also a draftsman of note, producing expressive calligraphic sketches that revealed the underlying energy and intuition behind his more meditative canvases. His studio practice was deeply personal and introspective, often described by those who knew him as ritualistic, intense, and highly focused. Throughout his career, Tatarczyk exhibited widely in Poland and internationally, including at major institutions such as the Center for Contemporary Art in Warsaw and the National Museum in Krakow. He presented Poland at the Venice Biennale in 1995, affirming his stature within both national and global contemporary art circles. Despite his success, he remained a quiet figure, eschewing commercial trends and focusing intently on the inner life of his practice. His passing in 2010 marked the loss of one of Poland's most singular and meditative artistic voices, but its legacy endures through his uncompromising vision and the contemplative power of his paintings.